Thanks for coming on and spending just a few minutes with me here. I'm going to show you something that's really amazing and not a lot of folks out there know about it. And I'm going to show you a way to how to have a massive retirement with zero tax, zero debt, be 100% secured, and not spend any more money than you're currently spending. So hang tight, pay attention, take some notes, and get ready for a good ride. So, Albert Einstein says the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it, and those who do not pay it. So I'm going to show you here over the next few minutes how to take advantage of earning that. So compound interest works like this. You start with $100. You earn 10%. The next year you would have how much? $110. Then in year two, your $110 would earn 10%. And that just keeps piling on and on and on and so forth. So many of you might ask, does 1% matter? Is it important? Well, in interest, whether earning or paying, yes, it's extremely important. Let's look at some examples. If you have $250,000 earning 5% over 40 years, you end up with $381,000 in some change. But if that simple 5% goes to 7% on the same $250,000, now you've almost doubled the money that you get over 40 years. And then if we look at $250,000 gaining 9% over 40 years, doubles again to almost $1.2 million. So percentage points matter. They're very, very important. And we're going to show you how to maximize and use them to your advantage. So let's talk about this. When you buy things like your vehicles, or you buy an education, or you buy a home, how do people make purchases, right? Some of us out there are debtors, right? The typical person using debt means you start with no money. You borrow the money, and it has a little piece of paper attached that says I owe you, right? And so you actually have negative money, and over time you make payments. And then once you make payments, you're going back down to zero. So if you purchase a car, get the loan, $30,000, make your payments back, you end up back at zero with a 5-year-old car, right? Education, same concept. Get the loan, get the money, go to get your education, make the payments back, and you end up back at $0 with an education. So some of you out there may be savers. So what does that look like? Well, you start with no money. You save a little bit every month, save another bit this month, save a little more until you get the $30,000 or whatever that number is. And then you end up with the car. Or you save, and then purchase your education. So whether you're a saver or a debtor, the net benefit's the same. You end up with a product and $0. So let's talk about a bank, since the concept here we're talking about is your family bank. What are banks? What do they do? Well, they're neither saving or debtors. Let's talk about the banking model. I'm going to use some simple numbers so you can follow along. Nothing crazy here. We're going to look at a little 1%, right? So how does a bank work? You make a deposit, they're going to pay you 1%, right? So if a depositor puts $1,000 in, 1%, they're going to earn $10. Then you go to a bank to get a loan, and you're going to pay somewhere between 4 to 20%, right? So let's average that out to 10%. So if you go back to the same bank and you borrow $1,000, they charge you 10% interest. You pay $100. So in essence, you're putting your money in, they're paying you a small percentage, and they're charging you a huge percentage to get your money back out, right? That's the model and how they make money. They profit $90 on your $1,000. So what are banks doing with your money? Okay. So when you write a check and put it in, they're getting those profits, right? Off of the loans that they make, and they keep growing and growing and growing. So is the bank really doing this? When you run on the bank and say, hey, I want my money out, are they saying, well, that money's in George's appliance store, and that money, and Linda, I can't give you your money back because that money is over in Mary's bookstore, and that's in John's home. No, that's not what they're doing, right? You may think that's what they're doing with your money, but that's not what they're doing. What they're actually doing is not just loaning out their money to leverage, they're also taking your deposits and leveraging the power of the Federal Reserve. So they can take thousands of deposits over there, and now they don't even have to use your money. They can access 10 times your money. So they take your money over the Federal Reserve and they leverage it. And they say, hey, Federal Reserve, give us 10 times the amount we just gave you so we can go around and loan that out. And so if you go to any city and look at the skyline, almost every time you'll find the biggest, most beautiful buildings are banks. Go check it out. Because what they're doing is making a huge amount of profit. They're taking your dollars, taking it to the Federal Reserve, collateralizing it, getting a 10x loan back, and then loaning all that money out and making a huge profit on it. So they are leveraging your money as collateral and multiplying it out. So here's the question. Why would you not want to be your own bank? I mean, have your own little Federal Reserve where you can print your own money. Wouldn't that be cool? Let me show you how to do that. Let me ask you this. Is there a company willing to lend you money and use your money just as collateral like the banks do? Right? There are. There are insurance companies. Insurance companies are willing to use your money as collateral for loans. And as a result, you now have the ability to use your own money just like the banks do. So how does it work? Well, you take your money and you put it in the insurance company, usually in the form of a life insurance policy. And through the miracle of compound interest, according to Albert Einstein, compound interest, eighth wonder of the world, right? Your cash value grows and grows and grows. But this time, it's growing for you. So guess what? Unlike most other investments, you don't have to pay taxes on this growth every year, right? Now that's attractive. So what we do is you have your own personal Federal Reserve. That's the insurance company. You have your cash value of your policy. You now can collateralize it and get a loan against it and go make those purchases like the car, your education, or even houses. So the money in this policy can grow a bit over 7%. Imagine having your own money over here growing 7%, taking out a loan at 5%, investing it in a property, earning 20%. This would be like having the same dollar working for you in two places. That one that's in the policy is working around 7%, and the rest, well, it can be earning whatever you plug it into. If you're doing real estate, whatever function you want to put it into, you can gain those kind of double returns, returning in two places the same dollar. So guess what? With this money, when you do this, it also is not taxed. So let's look at a traditional saver. What happens? You save $500 a month, each and every month, till you get $30,000, and then you go buy a car, right? Then it's 5 years old, so you have to do it again. So you save up another $30,000, and you go get another car. And this cycle repeats itself over and over and over. So we have no money, we have income, we save and save and save, and we buy that car, we put a ton of miles on it, and you just have to repeat this over and over and over. So you can do different things, and after 30 years, you have one car, and you've been doing this every 5 years. So how do we use our model? So the banking and the wealth creator, this is the model that we use. You start a policy, you start making premium payments until you get $30,000 in there. You can take the loan out and get the car, make the payments back to your own policy, keep building that up. Same thing you're doing right now. Make payments, get another car, make payments, get another car, just like you'd be doing. But at the end of the 30 years, you not only own one car, but now you have another almost $600,000 in the bank. Sound great? Right. It's super simple. Just got to get plugged into one of these plans. So if you could do this with what do you want to end? You want to end with one car and $0, or a car and almost $600,000, right? And if you can do this with a car, we ask you to kind of imagine and open your minds and look at this. What else could you buy? Could you buy a house and do it? Absolutely. How about follow some of our advice and buy multiple houses and have huge wealth and wealth insurance and be able to grow and leave a legacy for your family? So, what are the next steps? Look, if this interested you at all and you've got some questions, you need to get a financial needs analysis done. What I'm going to do is there'll be a link on this video or in the email or however you arrived at this presentation. Follow the link, schedule an appointment, and meet one of our advisors. Sit down, we'll do a financial needs analysis, see what the best plan is for you, and we really look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you at our appointment.